there'll be a bishop, a pastor, apostle, someone who has big conferences. Everybody knows, oh my God, they're the holy man of God. And they will pick their victims and they groom them.
The opiate bishop, pastor, apostles, all the lesbian conferences. Everyone knows, oh my God, they're the holy men of God, and they'll pick their victims while grumbling. T.D. Jakes is done. And, I mean 100 billion% cooked. But what does this mean for those who stood up for him? What does this signify for those who have been misled by his religiosity? What about those people? How about them? He had some provocative images of Jake. The difficulty is this. A victim is still a victim, and a victim has the right to speak out.
He had a couple of pictures of Jake's in a very provocative manner.
So, no amount of silencing will stop the victims. We are going to talk about the victims. Man, your deeds will catch up with you. Oh wow. Okay, I'll put myself on the chopping block first. Okay, first of all, I completely understand what it is to have secrets. I really understand what it's like to keep secrets and be always on edge. And then you're about to have that bubble busted wide open. And you're like, oh my gosh, you've got to do damage control. I know what it is like. So, what I'm going to say next is that I completely understand where T.D. Jakes is right now. I know where that man is, and I do not envy him. But I do have some suggestions for him. Allow it to happen, because the relief you'll feel after you're finished is unparalleled. Trust me. Why are we discussing TD again? Well, you're too strong. You know how we don't like saying things ahead of time. We kind of wait. There's no waiting for this one because TDJ kind of opened the door. He paved the way for this, first via his associations and second through his replies. And I'm going to make sure I milk this because if I drop it, you'll have one of two reactions. You'll either say, no way, or, okay, so listen to me. Two people have come forward with incredible statements. Unbelievable is the term I'm looking for. Unbelievable. One individual, and I want to be clear, he did not name Jake, but he has received some mentoring from T.D. Jakes, and what he says will surprise you. Here's a little of that.
Referring to the black church specifically. And what that means is that there'll be a bishop, a pastor, apostle, someone who has big conferences. Everybody knows, oh my God, they're the holy man of God. And they will pick their victims and they groom them.
But what he's saying is extremely important. There are many things happening in what we call the church now that will come to light. This is one of them. T.D. Jakes' actions are one of them. But I have not heard that. You have not heard the receipts from those who have had altercations with T.D. Jakes. One of them is a man named Jerome. He used to work security at Potter's house. I am not sure if he is still there after this. Who is of the LGBT persuasion to supply some information, be it info or dirt, whatever you want to call it. He gave some salacious details regarding Mr. Jakes. One of them is of him in pictures, not just verbal. He has pictures of Mr. Jakes with a pie, a pumpkin pie, I guess, in his hand, but not dressed to eat the cake. That's as graphic as I'm going to get you. And then there's another picture of Mr. Jakes on a motorcycle in an assuming position. Let's just say he's anticipating something happening to him by a man named Jerome who used to work for the Potter's house. Tyrone contacted me. Tyrone works on Jake's security squad at the Potter's house. He had a couple of photographs, including one of Jake with a thong. He's wearing a thong as well. Mr. Jakes is wearing a thong. I didn't want to put that image in your head, but since it's in mine, you should have it too. I'm a sharer. I won't be scared by that alone. I must have company. I must have company. I want it gone, but it's already seared in there, sadly for me and now you. But if this is real, and these photographs exist.
Contacted by this gentleman, Tyrone. Tyrone works on the security team for Jake's at the Potter's house. And it was, early. He had a couple of pictures. He had a picture of Jake's in a thong with a peach cobbler that he had made. And then Jakes had bought him a motorcycle, and he had a couple of pictures of Jakes in a very provocative manner, chest down on the motorcycle and tooted up in the song.
The difficulty is that a victim continues to be a victim, and a victim has the right to speak up. So no amount of silence will stop the victims. And we'll talk about the victims. If these men who are coming forward have genuine documented proof, either in pictures or in words, TD Jakes is done. And I mean 100 billion% cooked. What does this mean for those who defended him? What does this signify for those who have been misled by his religiosity? What about those people? How about them? You think he'll care? You think he's going to come for something? I know what will happen. He's going to swagger ahead and apologize. Because, recall, that is what he said. He has already stated that this man is good. I'll give this to Mr. Jakes. He at least understands how to mitigate the blow of what's to come. He expressed it in his own words. Even if it were true, all I had to do was repent from the bottom of my heart. The worst that might happen is that everything is true, and all I have to do is repent from my heart. The blood contains enough power to cover all sins. TD, I'm sorry, but I don't think that is how it works. Here is the problem. Okay, I'm trying to say things so that I don't come across as condescending. But I don't think it's feasible. I believe I will come across as condescending regardless. If you have to tell someone that even if it were true, it must be true, you have already admitted that it is true. And if you tell me all you have to do is repent, you are not repenting. Do you see the problem? You already know you're wrong, and you're already anticipating applying a specific rule to yourself that doesn't apply when it's not done with a contrite heart. But the individuals you've buttered up for years will believe you're man. What a tremendous man of God you are. Look, bro, we've seen you do some things on the pulpit, in your private time where you think no one is watching, and at parties where you think no one is filming you for quite some time. And we have enough information from these two objects called eyes to make a very clear and accurate assessment of who you are. We don't require you to admit anything. We did not even need the victims. We didn't need somebody to come and talk to us about what we witnessed. It is evident to us who you are. You have always been. Okay, let's talk about something quickly. If I say I'm a mentor to someone, please hear me out. I've been a mentor to this person for around 8 years. I gave a really good number. 8 years. Wouldn't you? After a year, I would expect to see some changes. 2 years would bring about substantial change. Within 3 to 4 years, you would observe this individual begin to distance themselves from the thing that is destroying them. TD has mentioned he has been Puffy's mentor, correct? That is what he says. He is in a relationship with her. He's past her. He's saving P. Diddy. What aspects of Diddy's behavior have you noticed to have changed? TD Jakes, what are you offering this man? I'm not going there. I know what he's offering, which is identical to what TD Jakes is providing P. Diddy, but it won't change P. Diddy. That will simply give P. Diddy more reasons to act the way he does. And if you know, you understand what I'm talking about. But what exactly have you been teaching him about? What have you been assisting him with? Do you identify as a pastor? You're a man of the cloth, a man of God, and you're working to bring Diddy to light. And in all the years you've known him, he has failed to turn around. It tells me you're not doing your job. It informs me that I believe the person mentoring the other is the other way around. I believe P. Diddy has been tutoring TD Jakes. TD Jakes has been utilizing the material as a covering. But sadly or luckily, that will come to light, and it will do so quickly. For all intents and purposes, I don't need to know whether any of this is accurate. Why? Because his doctrine itself is questionable. Okay, so let's get it out of the way. So I do not need a victim to come and tell me what you've done. We can see it. The victim's only contribution will be to help others who have been unable to see it. That's what I'm happy about. So when you hear the stories and witness his reaction, recognize that he is a fearful man trying to conceal his tracks. If you've ever kept a secret, you'll understand his knee-jerk reaction, as well as what he stands to lose and why he wants it so badly. You will understand why he behaves the way he does. You'll understand why he's acting the way he is, which is unfortunate for him. All of this is overseen by one guy who is greater than him. That is God. And I can't wait to see the fireworks go off on this one. Wait until the fireworks go off on this one. Wait until the fireworks go off on this one. You are welcome.